doing something a little bit different. Based here in San Diego, California. And what we're doing is we've created drones with digital displays for outdoor engagement, whether it's advertising, public safety, or anything in between. But what we're going to talk about today is something a little bit different. We're going to literally talk about how do we get the community involved and supportive of all these concepts that we have. When I first started flying drones, I realized there was a huge disconnect between everyday people and us with our brains that are so, hypnotized by this cool technology that sometimes there's a contrast, right? So it's our job as these innovators to make sure that we can survive and thrive with our technology, not just from an innovative standpoint, but also we need the community's buy-in. So what we're going to talk about today is how do we bridge the gap between our innovation and the people that we want our innovation to serve. So let me get in here. Let me start the presentation. Okay, so public perception of drones. When I first started flying drones, probably very like a lot of people on this call, there's a lot of fear, a lot of skepticism, a lot of doubt as to whether these things were going to have value. So we're going to talk a little bit about where the public perception is today, what's the reaction likely to be to drones in everyday life, and then how will the public be accepting of the landscape that we're trying to change. We're talking about building smart cities, having drones flying around in everyday life, from everything from deliveries to public safety. How do we get people to buy into that? Well, one, we know the market's shifting. We all know that we're in an area where the growth is happening very rapidly. But with rapid growth requires flexibility. It requires support. It requires our ability to use our technology for good in a way that's going to have an impact in community from a real way that's going to allow them to see the benefits. So when we're thinking about how do we get past that tipping point? When I started the company, we initially started with the focus on advertising, using our drones to fly around big events for brands, promotional opportunities. Think large outdoor concerts where any drone pilot can monetize our platform as an independent operator, an entrepreneur, and now they're making a career, they're making their own money, enhancing their quality of life through these outdoor drone experiences. But as attitude is split, some people love drones, some people are a little bit confused about what they do. What I realized is that drones for good is really the glue that's going to help. When we're talking about how drones can save lives, it's directly contrast to their perception that drones are going to be constantly properly misused. The questions we get a lot is, what happens if these things fall out of the sky? What are you going to be spying on us? What happens to our private and sensitive information? And these are all valid questions, and we all have answers to them. But until it's adopted at mass, we're going to have challenges with this innovation. So what I've realized is, in the past, we focused a lot on creative content, real estate. Now we're exploring the eVTOL benefits. We're looking at how we can use drones in different ways. And what I've realized is, in order to change, how people perceive us, we had to be flexible. We had to pivot. And now we're working with organizations. We're targeting organizations like Department of Defense, FEMA. There's a lot of floods that happen. There was just one here in Jackson, Mississippi recently, where they're launching drones to survey water levels. Now in that same flood crisis, you can have a drone that's flying out, identifying an individual that's on a rooftop, having a digital display that's going to allow that person to know that help is on the way. And through a series of gestures, movements, or two-way feedback, now you're allocating resources more efficiently. So these response agencies now are reducing costs, boosting their force multiplication efforts, and saving more lives using technology that's designed to enhance these operations. When the public starts to see these things, when grandma's on a roof during a flood and now she knows she's safe, you're de-escalating those emotions, this allows the community to now see the true value and allows things like advertising, deliveries, and all these other things to really have a root, because it's a more personal and emotional connection to what the value of drones are. We have that, right? Because we are educated on it. We understand it. We're the ones doing the research every day as to how to make this stuff work. But sometimes we get a little biased, right? We're so excited about the fact that we have all this cool technology, but sometimes we forget that the public, they don't have any understanding of this. They're working their jobs, they're 9 to 5. So all they're concerned about is this going to be more of a nuisance than a benefit? There's contrasting views. We understand the value, but we know there's challenges on the regulatory side. So as we've come from an early stage industry to a little bit mature, we're still at its infancy. We're at that 1% out of 100% point, and over the next few years, we'll kind of grow and expand. you know, it's important that we're using our drones in the right way, having consistency in our messaging, having the benefits be clear and impactful, and then working together in a collaborative nature to make the rules of engagement viable, so that we not only can have an economic viable path with it, but the community can also feel like they can entrust and start to use our technology in a variety of ways. Based on some research, search and rescue, observing fire spills, emergency services have a lot of buy-in from the community. So the more and more we, you know, they see in the news, they realize that these drones are impactful, the more and more they'll be more accepting of these alternative uses for it, such as advertising and the like. So when we started our concept, we were like, will people look at a drone for more than just to yell at it because they think we're spying on somebody, right? And that was the birth of my idea. Can we put a banner on a drone, get someone's attention, and then use that in order to create a reaction? And it's grown from a simple banner concept with just a static banner on a drone to be flown at golf tournaments, volleyball tournaments for sponsor monetization, to now a beta platform that we're going to release in 2023 with full-blown focus on fire departments such as FDNY, Chicago Fire, LA Fire, FEMA, Department of Defense, and in everything in between, where we can train these EMS responders how to fly the drone and how to use it in these situations in order to enhance their operations. The future landscape, when we think about what it's going to look like, it's vertical in nature, right? And as well as horizontal. We're going out and we're going up. So this means that we have to have safety as a priority. We have to have technologically advanced products that are able to live up to the expectations of the consumers that will be using it. And because we're starting to take this approach, the sentiment is starting to shift. We're not there yet. There's still a lot of unknowns. There's still a lot of community education that has to happen. But what we're doing is the more and more the public's exposed to the benefits of drones, the more our jobs are going to be easier exposing them and bringing that innovation to market. So what's going to happen over the next few years is we're going to grow from these concepts. I know a lot of people here have wonderful ideas, but we're really at that prototype phase of things. We're testing the waters. Over the next few years, our products are going to be more solidified. They're going to be integrated at scale, not only in the United States where we are, starting in San Diego, but throughout the entire globe. So it's not just going to be a local commitment, it's a global commitment. In order for us as a unified front to get past these challenges, these perceptions, this sentiment, we're going to have to make sure that we're doing positive things with the drones, letting them know that we're on their side. And even when there's instances where, you know, the bad guys, so to speak, are using drones in a nefarious way, show that we are the ones that are supporting the positive efforts of it. So using drones for good, having advanced sound technology, really displaying the impact of what drones are going to have in the community is going to enhance our ability to buy in. It's going to export vertical and take what we're doing to another level. How we're using our drones right now and what we're basing it on, think missing persons, active shooter information, flood, disaster, emergency response, live streaming. We're a two-way platform. So not only can we stream and capture information such as data, personal, demographic information, etc. Now we can push information that will allow streamline the communication efforts. So again, we're in the business of saving time, saving money, and saving lives, and acting as a force multiplier in a community sense that will allow the everyday people to be familiar with drones, comfortable with drones, and it allows all of our businesses to scale. So technology is one half, community adoption is the other half, and that's my presentation.
Jamar, a quick request. Do you have a video which explains the way your drones work?
Yeah, I do. It's a YouTube video, so I don't know how good it'll play, but
It'll play well.
It will play. Okay, cool.
Well. Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Let me pull that up. Here. And yeah, I'd love to show you the concept in action. But we have a question. I can answer the question while I'm pulling up the our page here.
We have time, no problem. You can take your time,
cool.
Because you'll be distracted.
Can you see
we can't get a sound. We can't get a sound.
Okay, I'll mute this.
No,
I'll mute.
What you need to do is there would be a checkbox on top of your sharing strip. Where you have that share strip. there would be an option for share computer sound.
Okay. Oh, share sound. Yes, I got it. Okay.
Yes, just try that. That should work.
Oh, it says optimize for video clip too. Should I click that?
Try it.
Okay, share. See if this works. Okay, I'll start from the beginning. How's that? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So as the drone's navigating through the community, you have a live feed coming in. You're able to see a victim or someone that's in distress. You're able to directly mark their location, send help directly their way, so you're cutting costs and guesswork, and you're able to let them know and acknowledge that they've been found and send information directly to that person to help de-escalate a situation. And that's pretty much it.
That's amazing.